Let's talk about the Madden '05 Collector's Edition.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
So, Madden '05 came out in August 2004. So, this game actually turns 20 years old later this year. And I didn't grow up with Madden '05. The first Madden I had was Madden '02 on the PS2, the one with Dante Culpepper on the cover. Didn't play that one too much. I think the next one I got was Madden '07 with Sean Alexander for the PS2. And then Madden '09 was the one I really played a ton. That was my go-to Madden on the PS2. I absolutely love that game, all the different modes. That was the era of the NFL that I am the most nostalgic for. You know, Peyton Manning, Joseph Adai, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, Bob Sanders, Gary Brackett, all of the Colts teams that I grew up loving. I'm a huge Colts fan. And then also, players around the league, like that was the year Darren McFadden was a rookie, so you could play with him in career mode. Also Felix Jones, so two of the best Arkansas Razorbacks ever. There were just so many things about Madden '09 that I loved. But last year, or actually a couple of years ago, I did a video for Sports Gamers Online on the best special editions of sports games ever, and Madden '05 Collector's Edition ended up being number 3, and I wanted to get a couple of those for that video so I could do like different gameplay for them, for the ones that I could actually find. Most of them are pretty hard to find these days, like the NBA 2K locker, and that special edition is pretty hard to find. The Madden '09 special edition is very hard to find, even though I really want to find it. I would love to get that for my collection at some point. But one of them I was able to get, and that was pretty easy to find, was Madden '05 Collector's Edition. I'd seen this one in local used game stores for a while, especially when I was living in Northwest Arkansas. There was like 5 or 6 different game exchanges, and basically everyone I would walk into, I would see at least 1 or 2 copies of this Collector's Edition for, like $5, $6, $8, So I didn't really pay much attention to it. I didn't think, this says, one of the best special edition sports games of all time. I just figured, it was probably just a more expensive version of Madden '05 back then. Because today, it's not that uncommon to see, special editions of Madden. We still get them today. But today, all the extra stuff you get is just basically Madden Ultimate Team stuff. You don't really get, any sort of, actual good things out of it unless you're a Madden Ultimate Team player, which I personally am not. I've tried to get into it the last couple of years, just haven't been able to. But when I got this game and I was doing research for that video, I found there's actually a lot of really cool stuff that they put into this game for the 15th anniversary of the Madden series, which is what this was at the time. And I'm really excited to go over this and look at it. First off, the cover art is just amazing. Madden '05, already had a very good cover. I mean, Madden '05, Ray Lewis, this was the year they introduced the hit stick, so they couldn't have picked a better cover athlete than Ray Lewis, that hard-hitting Ravens defense from the 2000s. The only other person you maybe could have put on here was like Ed Reed. I don't know if Troy Polamalu was established enough in the NFL by 2005 yet. I don't remember when he really came up. I remember him more of like the late 2000s, early 2010 Steeler teams. I don't know if he was playing in 2004 when this game came out yet, but Ray Lewis had definitely already established himself as one of the top defenders, on that 2000 Ravens defense that basically carried Trent Dilfer to that Super Bowl title. And it already, again, this was already a great cover, probably one of the best Madden covers ever. But then you just have the black and white close-up on his face with the face mask and him just screaming. Absolutely gorgeous. One of the best covers in the entire Madden franchise. And then the back, nothing fancy, just this black and white Madden NFL 2005 Collector's Edition. It's in the game with the John Madden signature. This looks so nice. I love how this looks. It looks so good. And then the spine, you have the silver spine, so it stands out a little bit from the rest if you have them lined up in your collection. And then, you pop it up, the disc itself, is very chrome, so, it's special. This is a special version. And then the manual, you have black and white as well. And you still had the big manuals, on the PS2, which I miss. I wish they would go back to having the big manuals because they were so much fun to look through. Even today, like they're fun to go back and look through and just kind of read about like what the game was like, what was EA, advertising for Madden? What were they excited to tell players about for this new game? What did they want you to really go and try and sink your teeth into for this year's game? And you have all this, the new defensive adjustments, new defensive playmaker. Madden 05, it was a huge defensive game. Madden 04 with Michael Vick, it was very offensive focused. Everyone remembers how overpowered the offense was in this game. And then in 05, they tried to come back and give the defense a whole bunch of love. They introduced the hit stick, which we still have today. Everyone still uses hit stick. And, it was a great, basically a great theme for Madden, which you don't really see much anymore. I think the last time we really had a good theme for a Madden was Madden 20, when they introduced the superstar abilities, and Mahomes was on the cover, and he had his signature ability, which was Bazooka. That felt like a great theme year. You're focusing on the superstars. You're focusing on the faces of the league. We haven't really gotten that the last few years. I wish they would go back to that and try to, give us a good theme for the year. Give us something that when you think about that particular entry in the franchise, you think, oh, that's the year of blank. But you have all these controls, and you even have the controls for like the Madden Classic, the Madden Vintage, and the Madden Retro, which we'll get into in a second. That was one of like the big special features for getting the collector's edition. So they have this whole section here on just what comes with the special collector's edition. It says, in celebration of 15 years as the leader in video game football, tons of special features have been added to make the Madden NFL 2005 collector's edition one for the record books. In addition to the extras listed below, more than 130 additional playoff teams from the past 15 years are available for you to play as or against. And so they have all these different modes. You have Madden Moments. You can replay more than 20 of the greatest moments of the past 15 seasons, so since Madden had been a thing. And each situation becomes more and more difficult until you reach the ultimate Madden moment. Trivia Challenge, test your knowledge of Madden NFL football and NFL trivia with more than 1,000 questions that will challenge even the most knowledgeable gridiron whizzes. Play alone or go head-to-head in two-player mode. Madden Classic, Madden Vintage, Madden Retro. See how far Madden NFL football has come by replaying 3 of the most groundbreaking versions from the past 15 years. Each throwback version uses current teams and players in all their poly and sprite glory to create some serious old school action. And then you have the bonus material. 5 exclusive videos totaling more than 30 minutes of footage are included to give you a whole new perspective on the cultural phenomenon that Madden has become during its legendary 15 years. And yeah, and you can just go through this whole manual and you see all the different things that were added. And these are all things that you would love to see Madden have now. Like, there's just so much here. And you're starting to add a little bit, like the mini camp mini games got added back in this year. But there's still stuff they don't have, like create a team, historic teams they don't have anymore. Yeah, there's just so much here that they don't have anymore. Like the Pro Bowl. Like, remember when they were adding the Pro Bowl back into Madden for the first time in like so many years, and they made it like a back of the box thing? It was this huge thing. They're adding the Pro Bowl back. They added the Pro Bowl back. And then like it's like 2 years later and it's already gone again. Like, you can't even play the Pro Bowl anymore after they made a huge thing about them finally adding it back. This is such a great game because on top of all of that, you get Madden 05, which on its own is a really good game. It's still a little bit away from the gameplay of like Madden 07 and Madden 09, which I think are the best of this generation of Madden games. But it is definitely a step forward from like Madden 04, which when you go back and play it, it still feels a little... It feels a little too retro. It doesn't feel like what we all know as the modern Madden when it came to the PS2 era. And this game definitely takes it a major leap forward towards what we would eventually see it becoming. Let's go ahead and take a look at those special features because I want you to see what those look like in the game in themselves. So Madden Moments, there's 20 of these different moments. You can just hop in and play them. It gives you a little rundown of the situation and what you're hopping into and what you need to do in order to complete it. You have to complete one in order to unlock the next one, and then you just keep going and going and going. The numbers on these historic teams are not correct, so you would think like 89 Broncos, you know, you have number 7, John Elway. They have number 3 in at quarterback, but that's still supposed to be John Elway. That quarterback is still John Elway, you know, and the Steelers quarterback is number 50. Their quarterback wasn't actually number 50 back then. So that's the only thing about that is the numbers aren't right. I figure that's something to do with licensing, not wanting to get in trouble with like image and likeness back in the day. But these are still a lot of fun. I've always loved Madden Moments. It used to be one of my favorite modes. I hate that they took it and basically placed it into MUT and made it sort of like their challenges in MUT now. And there's really no like Madden Moments anymore for people who don't play MUT. I think that's so dumb. I wish they would just keep doing Madden Moments, because I remember even all the way up to like Madden 12 on the PS3, and that was a great year for Madden Moments. That was the year Tebow was making all those incredible comebacks with the Broncos and all that. So I would come home, and every week, once they updated them, I would go through and play all of those from all the games that I had watched over the weekend, and I was so excited to get to try and recreate those or try to change history. So I love Madden Moments. I love any time it's included, and I wish that would be at the top of my list of things I would like for them to bring back. The trivia challenge, it's all right, you know, it's nothing amazing, you know, it's trivia, you know, and like I said, this was a little bit before my time. I didn't really get into the NFL. My first NFL game was Super Bowl 41 when I saw the Colts beat the Bears. That's the first football game I remember watching in my life. And that's when I became a fan. And so I started watching a little bit more. And it wasn't really till like 2008, 2009 that I really became a hardcore football fan every Sunday, every Monday night watching football. That's when I really got into it. So this is a little bit before my time. I was able to get a few of these, but not a whole lot of them. And now we get to Madden Classic, Madden Vintage, Madden Retro. So basically this is 3 other versions of Madden that you get. So this is basically 4 games in one. Now it doesn't have the actual rosters. You're using the same rosters from Madden 05, but you're getting the gameplay, the controls, the sounds, everything from these old Madden games. Now Madden Classic, that's Madden 93 from the Sega Genesis. Basically the Sega Genesis version. That was when Madden really started to take off. That was when it became very, very popular. And then it came into like Madden 94, Madden 95. That's when EA Sports was getting very, very successful, especially on the Sega Genesis. And then eventually once the PlayStation 1 came out, they took it up even further. But yeah, I mean, EA Sports was killing it on the Genesis. I mean, Madden and NHL were both just heavy hitters for them, just completely knocked it out of the park, made them a household name for any sports video game fan back then. And then you have Madden Vintage, so this is Madden 98, I believe. So I don't know if this is PS1, or I don't know exactly where Madden 98 released, if it was on the PS1 yet or what. I don't know exactly, but this one was a little bit tougher for me to play. I was not able to do anything, especially in the passing game, but running the ball, I couldn't do anything. So this was definitely difficult for me. All 3 of these were a little hard for me. I didn't grow up with these older Maddens. Like I said, my first one was Madden 02, so I basically started with PS2, 3D type Madden. So I didn't play any of like the 2D with the passing windows like in Madden 93, or like basically the fake 3D that you have here in Madden Vintage. And then Madden Retro is, I believe, Madden 01, which is still on the PlayStation. So they weren't on the PS2 yet, I don't believe yet. But Madden Retro was the first one where they went polygonal. So it was more than just the sprites. They were polygonal 3D models, and they were a lot more realistic, and then that set them up really well for when the PS2 would eventually come out in Madden, I believe, either 2001 or Madden 2002. Madden Retro is actually Madden 2000, I believe. Yeah, this was Madden 2000, so Madden 2001 was the first one that came out on the PS2. I think I got that wrong there. And then the bonus material, these are great documentaries. I wish they would do this more. I love getting a look at behind the scenes of video game development, like when God of War Ragnarok came out with their little documentary. I love that stuff because, I'm a video game fanatic. I love video games. I love learning about how they're made. I love seeing the people who make them and how much fun they have making it, how passionate they are for them. And, hearing those behind the scenes stories of what goes in to getting us some of our greatest games that we all love. And so I love these little videos. They go through the whole history of Madden, talking about in the first one, they talk about basically how it came to be, them teaming up with Coach Madden, and, seeing him there in that and talking about it, especially after he passed away a couple of years ago, was very, very heartwarming for me. It's always great to hear his just iconic voice, even though, I didn't hear him as a commentator much. I believe by the time I was watching football, he was in his last year or so of being a commentator. But I knew him always as a commentator from the Madden games.
I thought if it could be a combination teaching tool and also a game, it would be something that would be special. Now, in my wildest dreams, I had no idea that it was going to go where it went.
And so you hear his voice, you hear that just great voice, that great personality that he had, and it always makes you smile no matter what. So seeing him in that first one was really great. And then the second one, they sort of go into like the art and how they were able to improve the lighting and the different faces and everything as they went through the different generations and the evolution of Madden. And then you get behind the scenes look at Madden 05 and how they're making it. And you talk to different people that worked on Madden 05. Like you talk to the guy that makes all the faces. You talk to the guy that goes through and does all the ratings and all that. So I love that. And then you actually have a commentary game there at the end where you have different people on the team, and they're actually playing a game of Madden 05. It's Ravens versus the Falcons, so they used the last two cover athletes, and this is from an earlier build of Madden 05, and they're just doing like basically director commentary like on a movie.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Jeremy Strouser here. I'm the senior producer on Madden. Got a bunch of guys from the production team. We're just going to play the game. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do here. First time we're trying this one. Our marketing group thought it might be cool for us to kind of talk over a game like directors talk over movies on DVDs, and you can get a sense of what we're doing, trying to do with the game, and what we're thinking about. I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves.
Hello, Phil Frazier, line producer on the game.
Ian Cummings, assistant producer.
I'm DCAS. I work with exploits and testing.
Matt Frederick, assistant producer.
So DCAS is the same DCAS from online and various tournaments that you've probably, if you're in those, you've probably lost money to him over the course of the past couple of years. So we try to hire, the best online players and the best tournament guys as testers. So.
Tail never fail.
And it's so weird to me to think of like in 2004 what this looked like. Because like I'm sitting here right now, I'm sitting in front of my computer and my monitors. I have a light on, I have a camera, I have my black surface down, I have my game, I have my microphone, But I'm curious how that looked back then in 2004 to be playing on like a CRTV with a PS2. And what their microphone setup was like, how they were recording it, how they edited it. That's so interesting to me. I love that. I think that's so cool. I want to see that more. I want to see every year. I want a commentary game from the dev team in the bonus features of Madden. You need to do that. That would take you minimum like 3 hours of work, and you would have that, and I would absolutely love that. It would be a great bonus feature. It would be a great promotional thing, it would be a great tool of marketing that you could put up on YouTube and everything. I think that would be amazing. I wish they would bring that back. But yeah, and then, like I said, once you get done with the special features for the Collector's Edition, then you have Madden 05, which was a great game. You had a very deep franchise mode. This is the year they introduced the radio show in Madden. You could go through all the different, every week you would get a new radio show to listen to based on the developments in your league. And then there was also, I'm talking about all the special features of the Collector's Edition. You also have all of them from Madden 05 itself. You have an NFL Street demo that you can play. You have all these different trailers for all these different games that EA was putting out at the time, like NBA Live, Burnout, all these different games, which I don't understand why they don't do that anymore. As money hungry as EA is stereotyped as these days, you would think if they were so money hungry, they would put the trailers and all of the stuff for their other games in Madden as bonus features. You could watch those trailers. You could, play demos for their upcoming games. I wish they would bring that back. That would be so cool. And it would be, there's just so much in these old Maddens that we don't have anymore. And this was all on one disc, by the way. This is all one disc, has all of this. Basically has Madden 05 It has all the special features. It has those 3 extra versions of Madden that you get to play all on one PS2 disc. This is insane. I mean, Madden 07's Hall of Fame edition, they have a bunch of bonus features, but it's a 2-disc for the PS2. The fact that they were able to put all this work and all this effort into fit it on one disc is absolutely incredible. And also one of my favorite things is you can watch all of the different like opening cameos. So back then EA Sports, they would have all these different openings and you get a different one basically every time you started the game. And you can go through and you can watch all of them. And some of them are really cool, like all these old NFL players like Jerome Bettis and Antoine Randall L. and Ray Lewis and all these guys like saying EA Sports, it's in the game. I love that. That's something they need to bring back as well, man. It was just so much fun seeing the NFL players get excited about, being included in an EA Sports game.
EA Sports is in the game!
Madden NFL 2005.
EA Sports is in the game!
Madden NFL 2005.
What dreams is made of right here, baby. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Madden NFL 2005.
Antoine Randall, Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm in the game. Holla.
Madden NFL 2005.
EA Sports.
EA Sports.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
Madden NFL 2005.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Madden NFL 2005.
And lastly, there's a couple of like a little promotional video for the Madden Challenge and the Madden Bowl back then, which, was their competitive version of Madden back in the day. They would basically have these competitions around the country. This is, when online play was really starting to come into, the mainstream, especially on the PS2. And on Xbox as well, Xbox Live. I think Madden 05 was the first Madden game to feature Xbox Live, which is really cool. And so, you have all these people, you see these videos, and there's all these people, back in the early 2000s, playing Madden competitively. When you think about it now, you have the MCS, and every week, every time there's a competition, thousands and thousands of players, but they do that from the comfort of their homes. It's all online. Back then you had to drive and you had to go somewhere to play Madden competitively. You had to get dressed. You had to take a shower. Hopefully you took a shower if you went and played Madden competitively. You had to be around other people. You were sitting right next to the people that you were playing against. And I think that's really cool. I'd love to get to talk to some of the people that were at those events. So if you were ever at like one of those old Madden Challenge or Madden Bowl or tournaments like that, reach out to me. I'll put my SGO email down here on the video so you can reach out to me. I'd love to talk to some of those OGs from the competitive Madden scene from back in this day about what it was like back then. And if you still, keep up with the competitive scene nowadays, I'd love to talk to you guys about that. But yeah, so that's it for the Madden 05 Collector's Edition. It will turn 20 years old this year. And like I said, this game is still pretty cheap. Like, I looked on Amazon before I started recording this video, and I think it's like $8. I see it at used game stores all the time for, less than $10. So if you like Madden, if you enjoy it, if you enjoy the history of it, and just seeing how it's evolved over the years, definitely consider picking this up. I think you'll really enjoy it, especially all the different bonus features. And like I said, at the end of the day, you get Madden 05, which was a great game on its own. So definitely something you should check out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos. And for all things sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching.